Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm Noelle McFoy.
And I'm Scott Ramp.
And this is our pianist, Asaph Adonai. And if you all didn't recognize that wonderful song, that was the ode to me.
Noelle,
I'm just kidding. But yes, that was the Noelle song. Okay, anyway. Hello, everyone. It's Friday. I hope you have all had a good week. I know I sure have, because I am done with finals.
Yes.
I'm done with school until the end of January, and I am so pleased and exhausted.
Yeah. It's my 3-year anniversary of my last final.
Oh my God, how's that feel? Your final?
It doesn't...
3-year anniversary of your
It feels
final?
exactly like my first year anniversary.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
So what are we doing today?
Well, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. We have some city council stuff going on. We have events. We've got the weather. We have no webcam. We're trying to switch over to Wi-Fi, and things are getting a little wonky. But we do have a gal here from Missoula Carousel talking about Breakfast with Santa.
Yep.
And so that's next Saturday. Or is it tomorrow?
Yes, next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yeah. So she'll be on chatting with us about that. We've got new programming. Yeah, but first we want to talk about our social networking sites. Mm-hmm. We've got our Wix page, which is wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. And you can see all of our episodes, all of our pictures, galleries, about all the cool stuff. Yeah. We also have our MCAT page.
There we are again.
Yeah, where you can if you want to get involved, you can get to our MCAT page and contact us through there and find out where we're located and find out all the programmings and everything that's going on.
Yep. And also next week is going to be our last week that we're open for the year.
Yep. We're closing for Christmas, so you'll have to get your MCAT fixed next year after the 6th, but we'll still be doing this show. So Yeah,
we'll be doing it in January, the last week of December, first week of January would be our...
Yeah, will be our debut again. Yeah, but we also have MCAT's Facebook page, and now we have Wake Up Missoula's Facebook page, and then here's our Twitter, and Scott will tweet you back.
I tweet people back almost exclusively.
Exclusive tweets,
Yeah.
he'll at you,
Yeah.
at your Twitter name.
At your Twitter name. Yeah.
And he'll...
I think people respond more so to exclusive if you say the word exclusive.
Exclusive.
People are like, ooh, it must be fancy or whatever.
Exclusive.
And we have an exclusive interview with Theresa Cox.
Yeah.
And she's going to be talking about Breakfast with Santa at the Carousel for Missoula.
Exclusive breakfast.
Exclusive breakfast.
With Santa.
Yep.
Cool. But up first
we have got weather.
Yes. Telling everyone, it is unusually warm.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure all the snow melted yesterday.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and it's kind of dry out there, but it looks like
it's gonna snow tonight.
Yeah.
At least, but then it's probably gonna evaporate and go away by next week because it's gonna be sunny, clear, but still really cold because it is technically winter.
Yeah, technically.
Because it's not it's funny, winter for us kind of feels like it starts late November, early December, but according to the federal map and all that stuff.
According to the feds.
The feds.
Winter
doesn't actually start until around Christmas, around the 25th of December, and then it lasts until February, and then the Punxsutawney Phil and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
No, we can't even talk about that.
Yes. So before bringing our guests, we're gonna show a little what's gonna be on MCAT tonight and Sunday night. So. There's not much going on MCAT on television. We usually have most of our programming on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Mondays. But we have a new program tonight. It is the Montana Law Review.
Oh, great.
And it's part 5 of an ongoing series that happens every Friday night around the same time. And then in City Club Missoula, it's going to be on a completely different channel. And if you're interested in being a part of a media assistant grant. And let me explain to you, a media assistant grant is basically for nonprofits and organizations in town to hire MCAT to shoot their event, whether it's their event, their cause, their lecture, their performances, all sorts of stuff. We've worked with Humanities Montana. We have an ongoing series with Humanities Montana, Festival of the Book. That's still ongoing. We're going to have almost infinite programming because of that, and the Missoula Public Library. So without further ado, here is the media assistant grants that produced these programs that you'll see. And then once we come back, we'll have Theresa Cox on. So enjoy.
I want to thank the Montana Law Review and the students at University of Montana Law School for an absolutely splendid, wonderful conference. They couldn't, of course, provide for the scenery and the weather, but they could provide for extraordinary panels. And one of the things that I really love about this conference is that on every panel, you're mixing law profs with judges, with prosecutors, with really experienced people. It was a really nice combination. So thanks a lot for inviting me. I've had a great time. I won't try to keep up the high standards, but I will try to make my PowerPoints colorful.
The board said, look, this is a direction for us, for our long-term success, and we will do it when we are in a position of strength, when we can define terms, when we can develop partnership, and structure that partnership in a way that is best for those we serve, Western Montana, our community. And so with those three ideas, the board went forward, engaged in looking at its various options.
All right, we're back with Theresa Cox. You're talking all about Breakfast with Santa.
Exclusively.
Exclusively.
Exclusive Breakfast with Santa.
And we have that website right here. So if we show that right there,
Perfect.
Yeah,
there's your
and so
slogan.
Breakfast with Santa is located where?
At the Carousel.
Okay.
We have been doing Breakfast with Santa since we opened. So we're almost 20 years old. So this will be our 20th Breakfast with Santa.
Awesome.
Santa loves it. It's a fun thing to come down and ride the horses or to watch the kids ride the horses. The kids can give them their last minute wish list. A light breakfast. We have rolls, juice, fruit, coffee, milk, things like that, and free carousel rides. So it's really a very fun event. This year, Wheat Montana on 3rd is doing our rolls. We're really pleased about that. And First Security Bank has been our sponsor as long as I can remember. So really pleased with the people who help us bring this event to the community at a really low cost.
Yeah, and so what are the times?
It's from 9 to 10:30 on Saturday the 20th. It's a come and go thing. You can certainly come and stay for the whole time if you want to, but if you want to just come and drop by and talk to Santa and have a roll and take off, that's just fine too.
Awesome. Okay, and then so when will the free carousel rides be?
That's during the event from 9 to 10:30. Although we do also do free carousel rides on Christmas Day from 11 until 3, and we do that with volunteers.
Yes,
So
volunteers, everyone.
Yes,
Not
right.
corporate greed.
Right.
Volunteers.
That's great. What year is this? Like, how many years have you been doing the Santa breakfast?
I think this will be the 20th year because we will turn 20 in May, and
Wow.
so we did it before our first full year. So.
Is this one of your longest ongoing events?
I think it is. It is the longest. We used to do an Easter brunch, and that fell by the wayside quite a while ago. And Santa's breakfast just endures because we get a lot of people who want to do it every year. So
Yeah.
it's great. It's a fun event. It's $6 for people over 12, $4 between 3 and 12, and under 3 are free. We do ask people to make reservations just to make sure we have plenty of food for everybody. Although if somebody wants to slip in at the last minute, we'll cut a roll in half or something. We'll make it work.
And how can people call for reservations?
They can call the Carousel at 549-8382.
Okay. Perfect.
Cool. So you're also trying to raise money. So you're trying to look for people to get you more money because you're trying to build on that, build on to the
Yes.
carousel as
We have
well.
Tell us about that.
Yep,
Yeah.
we've received permission to do an expansion on the Carousel building, in which will be a museum and a workshop.
Oh,
So right now the workshop is at the back of the gift shop. The carvers don't have enough room. The gift shop doesn't have enough room. So by doing this, we can give the carvers the room they need. Of course, we have everything we need for our carousel,
Right.
but we do make animals for other volunteer-built
Interesting.
carousels.
I didn't know that you guys actually
Yeah.
made them right there.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and
That's
then
really
for
cool.
local not-for-profits, like the Ronald McDonald House has a Ronald McDonald horse with big red shoes and French fries.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a little kid, and where you guys built the horses, where that you guys now serve like food and like
Yes.
slushies and all that stuff. That's where the workshop was.
Right.
And then you had the whole gift shop was like the whole area. It was like
Right.
nice and wide and really big. Now it's gotten small. You're basically cut it in half, and
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're adding on another room, kind of like for like parties and stuff.
The other room will be the museum.
Oh,
You know, after
cool.
20 years, people have kind of forgotten where it came from.
Interesting.
And the story of the carousel is really the story about how the community came together. So it's not just, you know, you can go lots of places and ride a carousel, but what makes ours is so special is how it was created. So we want to make sure that everybody who comes in sees how it was created.
That's
and,
awesome.
And then we will, because of the reconfiguration, we will be able to make a more private party room. I think that was what you were talking
Right.
about. And we can have meetings in there as well. It's a beautiful, right on the river. You know, the window's wide open. You can look out on the river during the meeting. So,
Yeah.
lots of really cool things going on.
When does construction start?
As soon as we have the money.
Yep, totally.
I've written a bunch of grants, sent them all off as soon as we got permission.
Cool,
And I'm
good.
waiting for things to come back and see what happens. Yeah.
That's awesome.
great.
And then, so, how big do you think are you kind of like projecting or hoping it would be?
The
The extra space.
It'll be 20 feet by 32 feet.
wow.
And then there'll be an upper deck on that, which will be kind of, some of it will be storage, but we can also carve up there.
Oh,
And then we're
perfect.
going to build a ceiling in the gift shop so we can put storage above that too. The carousel was originally conceived as a seasonal thing. We were only going to be open in the summer months. And it was just never big enough or never configured in a way that to accommodate year-round use, like or as much use as we have of it. So this will give us a chance to kind of catch up with that.
Perfect.
So,
That's awesome.
one more time for the people out there, tell us about Santa's breakfast.
Santa's breakfast is Saturday the 20th from 9 until 10:30. Rolls, juice, fruit, coffee, milk. Santa will be there to listen to last-minute gift wishes. We'll have free carousel rides. It's a come-and-go event. $6 for over 12, $4 for 3 to 12, and it's free for under 3.
Awesome.
Cool.
Great.
Oh, thanks for joining us. Is there anything else?
No, I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. We do free rides on Christmas from 11 to 3 with volunteers. Come on down and enjoy.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thanks
Thank
for
you very
joining
much,
us.
Theresa.
We'll be right back after our Flagship Friday video of the week. So here it is. Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
Hey you guys, can I sit with you?
You just have to grab a seat.
No problem. Did you do your homework? Almost.
Can we copy it?
Then you wouldn't learn anything. If we're gonna be friends, there's a couple of rules.
Rule number 1, we're number 1.
Rule number 2, on Wednesdays we wear pink. Okay.
Rule number 3, we wear stripes on Tuesdays.
Rule number 4, you can only wear your hair in a ponytail once a week.
Rule number 5, there are no rules.
I want out.
See.
Yes, she is.
Um.
One
So
thing I learned.
did you guys notice those white hoops? I used to definitely rock those white hoops.
The
when I
white
was your
hoops?
age. Oh yeah, totally. Those huge, thin white hoops. Yeah. Let's see.
All right, let's.
Yeah.
Do your
Right there.
There
You
it
see
is.
that? Oh yeah, I definitely used to
The
rock
white
those.
hoops?
Oh yeah, the white hoops. The huge white hoops. Classic early 2000s.
Yeah, classic. It's all
Man.
about the hoops.
It is.
Yeah, you can toss a basketball through those.
Put your hand through them. Sometimes you can put pencils in them.
Pencils. That's crazy.
I know. I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're saying. All right.
Too much.
So this is the time of the program where we could probably go on to events and see what the heck's going on this
Yeah,
weekend.
there's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on this weekend.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Take that mouse. You have the control now.
All right, thanks, Scott. So, as always, during the week is family fun time at Missoula Gymnastics. It's for ages walking to 12 years of age, and they set up little stations around the gym, and it's obstacle courses, trampolines, and foam pits. So it's $5 for members and $8 for non-members, and it's from 9:30 until I'm not too sure. Starts at
9:30 until
I think
forever.
it's probably about
Yeah, until the end of eternity.
yeah.
It seems to be
9:30.
happening every morning. Most
9:30
mornings.
to actually family fun time happens almost every single morning,
Exclusively.
exclusive on the mornings. Yeah.
That's a hashtag exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that for when I post this. Is like hashtag
Exclusive.
We have an
Missoula
exclusive interview on an exclusive program.
Yeah.
Exclusive. And we have Asaph playing exclusive music.
We have an exclusive.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and
we have an exclusive piano.
Now that you say it too much, it just sounds like
No,
wrong.
it's fun. No, it's still fun.
Exclusive.
I know. You know when you like say a word too much and it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't sound like it like is real.
Basically, how all our young children talk nowadays.
Yeah.
Hashtag. It's like what is hashtag?
What is it, like hash? Like potatoes?
Can you actually take someone by saying hashtag? He's like, no.
Can you like?
Not yet.
If you throw a hash at someone, is that the same thing?
No.
Tag.
Let's play hashtag.
I love hashtag.
It's like the worst thing. You have a cigarette and you
Hash it.
you
Ash.
you throw the ash at people. Hashtag.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is like potato hash.
Oh.
You know? Really,
I
just
was-
like touch someone with potato hash. Hashtag.
It's a hashtag fine.
I'm hungry. Okay, sorry. God, we always do this during events.
We have to.
Events take like 20 minutes. Okay, all right. So there's family story time at the Missoula Public Library. Starts at 10:30, and it's a themed story time each week, and it's on the Dragon Rug, which includes songs and an art activity.
What?
Yeah. So this is on the weekends. Fridays at 10:30, Saturdays at 11, and Sundays at 2. The Children's Museum is having Tale-tivities, which is a kid favorite story, and you can bring your blanket and sit and listen to a story. That sounds fun. And then they'll have a fun themed craft about the story afterward. So that's in the Children's Museum. It's downtown on, I do believe, Front Street, in between like Orange and it's either Main Street or Front Street, in between Orange and Higgins. But yeah, from 11 to 11:30. Spectrum Discovery area, their Discovery Bench is Wind Weather, and their Brain Lab is Fruit Fly Fun. That is down on Front Street, and it is $3.50 for anyone 4 and over. And if you're 3 and under, you're in for free. Missoula Public Library is having their Yarns, which is at noon on Fridays. And it's for crocheters and knitters to get together and eat some lunch and craft.
Nice.
Yeah, end the week with some crafty fun.
Gets pretty intense.
Oh, I bet it does.
It's an exclusive yarn club.
Yeah, exclusively yarn.
Yarn.
Ah, yarns.
Yeah.
There's an exclusive line dancing group at the Missoula Senior Center. Starts at 1 p.m. Advanced and beginners are welcome, and there is an exclusive $1.50 fee charge.
I don't see anyone else that does a $1.50 fee.
No, I don't
It's all
either.
exclusive
It's
price.
exclusive to.
It's like no one else can do that fee. It's like it's $1.50. You can't do that. The senior
they
center does that.
trademarked that.
They trademarked it.
It's exclusive.
Yeah, so it's a line dancing at the senior center.
Yeah.
$1.50
Exclusively.
tonight. No,
No,
this
no.
afternoon.
At 1.
At 1.
At 1. Afternoon line dancing.
What
It's
do-
fun. It gets them up and moving, and I mean, I can imagine they'd be ready for a nap by then. I know I would.
Well, no, they have. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I was about to say something really inappropriate.
Yes. Let's.
All right, now
let's
art
stop.
series.
Let's go to the art series in the Children's Museum. So there's an art series at the Children's Museum of Missoula. You can learn basic art skills and a bit of art history through crafts and activities. It's from 4 to 4:30 today. Yeah. The Zootown Arts Community Center is having a silk screening night, and it's for free. And you can just come in and with like a shirt or a tote bag or a sweatshirt or whatever you want to do, and just silk screen. It's no registration is necessary. You can just come on by, and you just can throw in some change in the donation jar if you want to. But it starts at 5:30, and the Zootown Arts Community Center is on the north side.
It's like a smoke screen with silk.
Yeah. Cool. But this month is sponsored by Lambert Chiropractic, so that is why it's free. So thank you. 10 Spoon Winery and Vineyard is hosting the Watershed Education Network Holiday Fundraiser Party.
Nice.
So yeah, they're gonna take a look back at Watershed Education Network's trips, events, and programs from all past this whole year, and they're gonna have food. They're gonna have desserts provided by Bernice's Bakery, and they're gonna have raffle prizes, including Patagonia jackets and more. They'll have alcoholic beverages as well as non-alcoholic beverages, but there is no ATM machine on site.
Oh.
They put this in here. So if you need some money, you gotta get it before. Yeah.
Located at Rattlesnake Gardens.
Or you can get a closest ATM. They provided us with this. Closest ATM machine is located at Rattlesnake Gardens. There's traditional Irish music at the Union Club at 6 p.m. tonight. And Family Friendly Friday is happening at the Top Hat. The Whiz Pops will be there. That's from 6 to 8. And it's a time where parents and kids can just eat food, hang out, listen to music, and run around.
Yeah. Listen to nice, corny music provided by the Whiz Pops.
Yeah.
Yep. They're very, they're Missoula-centric kids band.
Yep.
There's no Missoula kids band, if you think about it, so they're
the only one.
Get in the market.
They're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have cool...
Because, there's kids in town.
I think so.
Yeah, I see kids once in a while.
I think that's a rumor. I think
it's a rumor. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't like to pay attention to it.
They're mostly in school the whole time.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah. They come out at night, right?
Yeah. But they can't stay up past 11 because that's the curfew. Because if you're 16 and under, you can't be out.
Oh, 11's the curfew here?
I think so.
Okay. It was midnight in Great Falls, but...
Well, midnight's... Great Falls is...
Yeah. After midnight.
After midnight.
They let it all hang out. I've definitely gotten some curfew tickets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nothing happens. All it is, here's a ticket. Like, there's no...
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah, I never had any fee, never had to go to court or anything.
I mean,
Just gave
we got to bring back the truancy officers.
Yeah.
They're the ones that get the job done. It's like they work with kids. It's like, you're going to school. It's like, I don't need this.
I don't want to. Yes, you are.
Truancy. All right.
Okay, yes, sorry everyone. All right, the Missoula Winery and Event Center is having the 3rd annual holiday swing. This starts at 7 p.m. and it's going to be a University of Montana jazz program, and they're going to pair up with pianist, vocalist Kate Skinner. And so it's going to take place Friday and Saturday evening, December 12th and 13th. At 7 p.m. at the Missoula Winery and Event Center. So that sounds fun. Missoula Public Library is having a worldwide cinema. It starts at 7 p.m. and the foreign film, each second Friday of the month, they show a foreign film. And so this month's foreign film is called The Auction. And it's in French, but it's got English subtitles. And I wasn't able to pull up a trailer for it. So if you guys are very interested, type it in on YouTube, The Auction. I'm sure it'll come up with a trailer. So KBGA is having a holiday party at Vaughn Common, 1909 Wyoming Street, Suite 7. They're going to have a holiday party. They'll have DJs, volunteers, prizes, food, Draftworks beer, and live music from IJI, who's from Seattle, Megabog, Ancient Forest Band, and Jay Sherry.
You can if you look at all these all the Seattle bands.
Yeah.
Like IJI, Megablog, and then it's Missoula band is Ancient Forest Band. I'm just saying Missoula bands are just
Jay Sherry. Yeah, Ancient Forest Band.
And then big city Seattle's Megabog.
Yeah.
And then you just think of robots and stuff. And
yeah. So I can imagine that those are all DJs.
They're all happening on 1909 Wyoming Street.
Mm-hmm. Suite 7.
Wow, that's oddly
specific.
Out there.
That's deep. With Vaughn Common.
It's near. Wouldn't it be? Yeah, Wyoming Street is somewhat near.
It's off of Russell.
West Side Lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's off of Russell. Yeah. So check it out if you're interested.
Yeah. Google.
But the Nutcracker is being put on by Garden City Ballet, and that's going to be at the University of Montana. So this is their 30th annual production of the Nutcracker. So the show times in December are December 12th at 7:30, December 13th at 2 and 7:30, December 14th at 2 and 6 p.m. All the performances are in the Part-TV building on the UM campus in the Montana Theater. So for evening, it's $25 and matinee is $20. And you can get your tickets from GrizzTix.com calling 243-4051, or from GrizzTix outlets, Adams Center, Warden's Market, Southgate Mall, Source in the UC, and MSO Hub. Yeah, and so if you really want to go to the ballet, those are the places that got the tickets. It seems really, really affordable.
Yeah.
And it's
a lot of people are going to the ballet for money here.
Yeah.
Our very own Lori said she's going to the ballet tonight.
Yeah, Lori.
She's probably watching right now.
Hey, Lori.
Hi. I look down kind of like this because she'd be right there.
Weird.
Wait, where's it down that way?
Lori, where are you sitting today?
Yeah.
So there's music tonight. At the Badlander, there's K Theory, which is another San Francisco electronic pop and bass trio. And it's got support from other Missoula bass bands, Capture and M-Ad. So he's probably mad. It's 18 and up. So it's $10 in advance, $12 day of show for 21, and there's an $8 surcharge for minors. So if you're under 21, you kind of got to pay a fee, but hey, it'll be fun. Sunrise Saloon is having the Boppa Dips, which I can imagine is probably country because they're a cowboy bar, country bar. Union Club is having Cash for Junkers. Monks is having I Heart the 90s, where it's a bunch of 90s music. And it's like, it's put on by Dead Hipster, but it's a bunch of 90s music.
Yep.
And it's 9 p.m., $3 cover, and they have so many drink specials.
that Hipster finally came back to Thursday nights.
Yeah, I noticed
It's
that.
weird, but from what I hear, no one goes there. Everyone goes to Monks.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I call the Badlander the bad idea.
The bad idea.
It's where you always end up at the end of your night and you're just like, oh, how did I get here?
Like most people are on the outside, like just on the outside, everyone just hanging out and everyone knows each other just outside there. And it's like, what are you doing here? It's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
My friends told me to meet you here.
Yeah.
That you should change the name to My Friends Told Me to Meet Me here at the bar.
Or it's 1 a.m. and I want to dance. Those are good bar names. Okay, Top Hat Lounge is having two different bands, Down North and Locksaw Cartel. And I saw a poster for this, and pretty sure Down North is a funk band from Seattle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Locksaw Cartel is like kind of like a dark indie rock band. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I may be wrong though, but that's what I thought I saw a poster for yesterday.
And what's the good news about this show?
It's free.
It's free.
And it's at 10 p.m. at the Top Hat tonight.
Yep.
Yes.
Right after the Whiz Pops.
Yes, I can imagine that this weekend is going to be pretty wild as all the college students are done with finals and just ready to blow steam.
Today's the last day.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them have to be kicked out of the dorms.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they get kicked out of the dorms today.
And so if you guys want some free stuff, go to the dorms.
Yeah.
Seriously,
People
kids
just give stuff away.
They just leave all their stuff in the hallway. You can get TVs, you can get couches, you can get some mini fridges. I would do it. Oh yeah, even in May. May is the hot time.
Yep.
Yeah, but pretty much.
They're kicking people out. They don't really care. They would totally kick people out. If you don't leave, they just take your stuff and put it on the outside and just throw it out.
Yep. No, you need to leave.
Yeah, you need to leave.
Yeah, I know this girl who was doing a documentary on like our young homeless population in Missoula, and she said that she interviewed this guy who was homeless and living in his car because he didn't know that he had to leave the dorms. That he didn't know he couldn't stay there over the summer. Yeah. I was just like, what?
Well, they're different levels. Like in the dorms, you can only stay in the dorms for. Yeah. You have to. Then your freshman year is the dorms, and then it's like you can graduate up, and then eventually.
Well, he didn't think that you had to move out.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know a lot of things.
How do you not look that up? How do you not
A lot of people just go to college for one thing or another.
Yeah, or their parents make them, or.
Yeah, and then they're just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. That's right.
It happens.
It does happen.
There a lot of times you're misinformed when you go to college, and you're spending a lot of money to go to a place that they don't care if you show up to class or not. That's the thing about college.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, very true.
Be sure what you want to do with your life if you're going to go to college.
Before you spend the money, seriously. Yeah. And if you don't know what you want to do, travel or take off or just do something else.
Get money.
Work. Yeah, or work. Yeah.
And then you just one of these days, it just something snaps, and you're just like, I want to do this. And then some people go later in life.
Just because society tells everyone that they need a college degree doesn't mean it's true. You do what you want to do because you're the creator of your own universe.
Boom.
Yep. Okay, back to Saturday events. All right. So,
there's a craft fair happening.
Yeah, Chief Charlo is having their holiday craft fair, and Santa's gonna come. God, Santa's pretty busy this time of year.
Yeah, he's really busy.
Yeah, so Santa's coming to Chief Charlo Elementary on Saturday from 9:30 to 3:30, and so you'll be able to, there'll be some local vendors there from 9 to 4. There'll be food, holiday music, kids crafts, and of course Santa. So they're going to be selling chili pizza, hot chocolate, and apple cider. And Chief Charlo Elementary is located at 5600 Longview Drive. So check that out tomorrow if you would like to. The Missoula Winter's Farmers Market is back, which is great. Is at the Missoula Winter Public Market. They're providing locally grown, made, produced meats, dairies, eggs, baked goods, fruits, preserves, hot prepared food, coffee, hygiene products, and arts and crafts. It's open Saturdays from 10 to 2. And it started December 6th.
Where is it? Is that the Hive?
I don't know. I didn't actually get an address for that. Yeah. I apologize. I didn't get an address.
From what I hear, it is at the Hive off of 3rd Street. It's where the giant metal statue of Ganesh is. Mm-hmm. You can't miss it. Thing. Yeah. So it started last weekend on the 6th. And it goes today. It goes through it goes through April 18th. So next Friday when I talk about events, I'll make sure that I get the address on that. Yeah, and then the official farmers market started in May, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Old Flynn Ranch at 2298 Tipperary Way is having Christmas tea and treats tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yeah, so it's just a day of tea and treats on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5. They recommend that you have reservations, so 360-4870 is the number to call to get those. There's a preschool playgroup at Bitter Gymnastics. This is for walking to 5 years of age. Class length is an hour. $8 to drop in and $12 for siblings. And it's parents and children choose the activities that interest them the most. They've got obstacle courses, pit games, trampoline time, swinging, sliding, climbing. And they say and playing on an inflatable, but the sentence just stops. So I don't know what that inflatable thing is, but it should be fun. Yeah. There's a Saturday Family Art Workshop at Missoula Art Museum. It is called Starry Night. Starts at 11 a.m. And so you can make star shapes with thread and yarn. Yeah, and then you can use them as holiday decorations. So all classes from 11 to 12:30. And let's see. Yeah. So kind of like first come, first serve. So get there quickly because the popular workshops fill up. There is cookies and crafts at the library at noon tomorrow. And it's for the whole family to participate. They're just going to have holiday-themed crafts and sugar cookies to decorate. So if you want more information, call 721-2665 or go to MissoulaPublicLibrary.org. They'll give you more information. They're Natural Grocers by Vitamin Cottage. They're going to have a cravings, weight gain, and blood sugar roller coaster discussion. It's at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and you're going to learn about the body's biological and hormonal response to food and eating and lifestyle strategies for blood sugar balance and weight loss. So if you're struggling with that this winter, go check that out. That's going to be really helpful. Franklin Elementary School Gym is having a kids' holiday gift making workshop. It's 3 hours, $15 for a kid, $10 for each additional kid, and parents are welcome to stay and create, or they can drop them off and go do what they need to, and they'll have helpers there to watch your kid, help them do crafts. Yeah. Oh, our favorite, Hellgate Roller Girls, are having their 2015 calendar signing party.
Oh, they're having another calendar signing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know.
If you guys missed the one on Tuesday, there's another one coming up at 2:30.
Yep. Tomorrow at Fact and Fiction. They're going to be selling their new 2015 calendars. They're also going to be signing them. So that'll be at 2:30. And for a preview before the signing party, go over to Brink Gallery, and you'll be able to see their photographer, Athena. You'll be able to see her art show in large format. So
and
Brink
if you
Gallery,
want to see the interview from Wake Up Missoula, you can log on to our Wix page. I posted the interview right up on there.
Because they were here last week. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, or was it the week before that?
It was last Friday.
Last Friday, yeah. So that's really awesome. Those calendars are really cool. I definitely plan on picking one up myself. Mm-hmm. The Clay Studio Missoula is having our holiday open house at 3 p.m. They're going to have free hands-on pottery lessons, painted decoration station, silent auction, and live music and refreshments. And gallery events and holiday open house are free and open to the public. There's holiday candy making class, barley malt lollipops. This is at the Temple House. Temple House is located on 9463 Upper Miller Creek Road. It's 4.5 miles up from Brooks, a little bit outside of Missoula. But they're going to explore how to make classical Victorian barley malt lollipops. And healthy, they have a long shelf life, and I guess they're amazing, according to this event page.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
Anything fresh is delicious.
And then, so that'll be Saturday's class. And Sunday's class, they're going to make peanut brittle and almond roca. So classes are $15, run from 7 to 9 p.m., 9463 Upper Miller Creek Road. You can RSVP by calling 926-1802, which is a landline, or you can text 207-1171. Downtown Dance Collective is having their December Tango Milonga. It is a partner-based social dance. It's usually hosted on every second Saturday of the month, and it's from 8 until 9. Let's see. Okay, so 8 p.m. is all levels dance lesson, and then 9 p.m. to midnight is the actual dance, and they've got potluck food and refreshments. It's at $10 per person and $16 per couple. And then for music, Shakewell will be at the Union Club tomorrow night at 9. Absolutely with Chris Moon and Monte Carlo will be at the Badlander. It's a DJ set, no cover, and they have absolute drinks for pretty cheap. Their Monks is having a finals dance party. It is 18 and up, so if you're 18, it costs $5, and if you're 21, it's $3. And it's just a bunch of bass and DJs and electronic music. They're gonna have DJ Webb, Wolf Trap, Chatterbox, Nick Stasso, and Ecstasy Montana versus Butter.
Oh, yeah.
I did that. All right, and then the
Shut
country.
your mouth. I was only talking about DJ.
The Country Boogie Boys, which is a country band. It's gonna be at the Sunrise Saloon at 9.
Boom.
So that's what's going on for today and tomorrow events in Missoula. Like I said, there is a lot happening. So if you're done with finals and you want to get out there, I highly suggest it. There's a lot of really good stuff. And if you want to find out more information about everything I've talked about, go to MissoulaEvents.net, and you can see everything that I've talked about. And you can see more activities and check out what's going on Sunday. And yeah. But what do we got going on now?
Right now I'm going to be showing a From the Vault video right before we get into City Council, the next segment. But I want to talk a little background of this person. And back in the day, it was in the early 90s, our old public library director had his own show called Undercover. And it would interview people about their books. He used to be the director of the public library, and one of his one of the authors that came on was James Lee Burke, and he is an American author of mysteries novels, best known for his Dave Rubosha series. He's a Cajun detective based out of Louisiana, and he draws a lot of stuff from his own life and personal experiences. But James Lee Burke is still alive. He's in his 80s, and he two of his books were made into movies. One starring Alec Baldwin, another one starring Tommy Lee Jones. And here is the interview, actually before Alec Baldwin actually did his first movie that was made. So this is a little taste of Undercover with interview with James Lee Burke.
Hello. Welcome to the premiere production of Undercover. My name is Dave Pauly. I'm director of the Missoula Public Library, and I'll be hosting this monthly program appearing on Missoula Community Access Television. Undercover has been produced jointly by the Missoula Public Library and by Barbara Thoreau, the owner of Fact and Fiction Bookstore. We plan to spotlight the literary world in Missoula and talk to local authors, taking a look under the covers of their books. And we'll be visiting with them and talking about a number of subjects, including what they're writing now, and just generally chatting with people. We're really, I think, privileged to have as our very first guest on the premiere show James Lee Burke. He's a Missoula author and winner of the prestigious Edgar Award. How do you feel about awards?
Well, I think they're great. Seriously, it was quite an honor to receive it. I was reminded of something that Mark Twain once said. I think he was given an honorary degree at Harvard, and he said, it's wonderful to be here receiving something that I don't deserve. But the Edgar Award is a prestigious one, and I was quite surprised that my novel won it because it was the first time that one of my novels had been nominated for the Edgar.
Who the judges are and how that's...
Yeah, I think there's a panel of about 5 or 6 people, and I think at least last year some 250 novels were nominated out of the thousands of crime and mystery novels that are published during the year.
What sorts of programs do you appear on? Do you do book signings? How does that all
Well,
work?
yeah, all of the above. My wife and I went on a tour for Little Brown. It was 7 weeks, and we went to 18 cities. We started in Berkeley, Ho Chi Minh City, and went down the California coast and through the Rockies, the Midwest, Canada.
Your books, which are almost like children, I would suspect, in some ways, being made into film, do you feel apprehensive that they're going to do something with it that you won't like? Or
No, because I'm writing the script.
Oh, wonderful. Great.
But they're nice people. They really are. And we're all agreed on the direction. I mean, the goal of the script and the characterization and the storyline, they haven't changed anything. They really want to do it as it was written in the book.
Do reviews have a real effect on sales? Does it make any difference?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah,
wondered about
there's certain review outlets that have enormous influence. The New York Times, has a big influence on, oh my heavens, you cannot underestimate the influence the Times has.
Personal point of view as a librarian, do you think that reviews in library types of journals are very important to sales?
Sure.
We kind of would like to know that, I think.
Oh, without a doubt. Publishers Weekly, Library Journal, and Book List are the 3 most important reviews that a novel will receive before it is reviewed by the mainstream periodicals. But the trade publications, as they are called, have a tremendous influence on a novel's future.
We're a long ways from the literary circles or the publishing world.
Well, Bill Kittredge says Missoula is the Paris of the 1990s. That's a great line. But no, this is where it's happening. In Missoula, you can throw a rock in any direction. You'll probably knock down a writer. But it's a wonderful place for an artist to live. It's an exciting place. It's probably one of the most beautiful places on the planet. It is. As John Steinbeck said, Montana's a love affair. That's a great line. Montana's a love affair. And it's like a drug. You come out here and you become addicted. As we were saying earlier, there is just no place that competes with it.
There's a little throwback. I wanted to show a big
James
chunk
Burke.
of that interview for sure.
Yeah.
He still lives here in Lolo, Montana.
James Burke does? Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know that.
Retired, still writes.
Cool.
A lot of good times.
Nice.
Yeah, and speaking
I
of...
didn't know he was a Montanan.
He's not.
But he just fell in love.
He moved to Missoula. He moved to Montana a long time ago.
Cool.
So, yeah. Oh, and speaking of the early 90s, because that was actually filmed and taped in the early 90s, there's also City Council that has something to do with the early 1989.
Oh, the
1989. 1989.
1889? Interesting.
1989.
1889. Man, they're really going back there.
So here's the background of it. There was a public safety and health committee, and then they were talking about how we could be on a certain spectrum where our air quality is much better than it was in 1989. Back in 1989, we got on notice from the EPA because our PM10s, our particulate pollution was higher than it should be, than the national average, and therefore we were put on notice. And now, because it takes a bunch of years and a bunch of data to tell them, it's like, hey, our air quality is much better now, and we don't want to be on this certain level of air pollution. So now we're gonna. They went to the board. Sarah Cofield is the. She's the air quality specialist with the Missoula Health Department, and she gave a presentation about it, and she gave a little presentation about the air quality, what causes the most pollution, and of course you may already know that most air pollution is from cars and all that stuff, but she talks a lot about what the emissions are, and we have a quote from her and a little pie chart to look at. So here is Sarah Cofield, the air quality specialist with the Missoula Health Department.
This is just a pie chart to kind of show you how it breaks down. As you can see, transportation accounts for almost 70% of our PM10 emission in the winter. The other sources that are also dust, largely dust, be like the residential and non-residential construction, are going to be that larger PM10 particulate fraction. And then the combustion sources that are also including PM10, the residential wood burning and natural gas combustion, are coming down to really more like just about 10-20% of the emission inventory.
And of course, there's if you've noticed that 58% was the paved road.
Fugitive?
Yep. So when they're paving roads and stuff like that, we would, because they have emissions and stuff like that, because the chemicals they use to pave roads produce particulates in the air, especially if there's wind and all that stuff. And since then, we've been improving, and things have gotten a lot better. But still, it's always going to be an issue with a lot of that stuff, unless we completely reinvent the way we pave roads. But if we're going to have paved roads, that's the biggest cause of the particulate matters. But good thing we don't pave all our roads all the time, every second. And let's see, moving on, to approve the resolution for registration request and limited maintenance for the PM10s. So they want to kind of like take a step back because everything's doing well. They don't need to put any more man hours into it than they need to because they have this data and all that stuff. So they want to take a step back. So where they do the testing of the air quality in the PM10s is called Bond Park. Is where we measure our PM10s. They basically have these air meters that record air quality 24 hours. So they give a report every hour on the hour about how many parts particulate matter is in the air. And let's see. And of course, one of the big questions is like, okay, what about fires? What if there's a fire? Of course, when there's fires, all the particulate matter increases like crazy. And what happens to our standing with the EPA if there's a fire? So, and that's what Brian von Lossberg asks Sarah Cofield, and Sarah Cofield answers. And this is what the discussion was.
Happens, assuming things move forward well and we're redesignated and such, and a fire comes through and we exceed, because we did get fairly close. I mean, we were still below, but it certainly seems like a plausible scenario where we would have a fire come through and exceed that limit. So what does that trigger if that happens?
Wildfires are considered by the EPA exceptional events, and so if you have an exceedance during a wildfire, you can submit that to the EPA, say, hey, this was a wildfire, here's all the newspapers talking about it, here's all the air quality updates about talking about the wildfires, here's a satellite photo showing the wildfires, and if you can show that the concentrations you measured were due to something that you cannot regulate away. I mean, we can try to regulate lightning, but it's not going to work very well. Then the EPA gives you a pass on that.
So yeah, like
that makes sense.
It's just like natural disasters and all natural occurrences are a good pass for a lot of the EPA. So
totally. It makes sense. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let me try to read my handwriting.
I know that's how I feel when I try to read mine too. I don't know.
Missoula's air quality is now able to get to the point where we can get to our next step of being considered clean air, but not perfect. You know, there's always going to be issues with, like, when you're during the winter, cloud coverage, all the particulate matter stays down, all the emissions stay down, and all that stuff.
And it's just because of our location, you know? Because the clouds just suck us in.
And the nice thing, because everyone knows, Smurfit Stone closed down, and there's a regulation that says that a lot of these manufacturing factories that produce a pollutant have to have there's a cap. You can only do so much of the work. So there's only two manufacturers in Missoula County that actually produces these pollutants, enough pollutants to be. But they're not the worst thing. That they are regulated. They're not the cause of it, but they they were the cause of it. There's only two, and that's the particle board plant, the lumber mill in Sealy. So they could produce enough PM10s if they wanted to, but they don't. So it's like, yeah. So that's as bad. The air quality is just getting better and better, and all sorts of stuff. And I do want to talk about the Parks and Conservation Committee, and they're talking about parks, the fees. So the master fees are trying to increase the fees to like rent out parks, rent out areas owned by the city of Missoula, where they rent out to people for weddings, events, birthday parties, all that stuff. So they're going to try to raise the rate next year, 2015, and it's going to be a 2-year process for some of them. Softball, there's going to be a 5% increase in rental fees over the next 2 years. So that's going to be 2.5% as 2015 starts, and by 2016 it'll be 5% increase. So if you're paying whatever you're paying right now, it'll just be increased by that much. Then there's the Moon Randolph Homestead, where people use that. It's a nice like little ranch owned by the city, and if you want to rent it, it's $400 a day, and for weddings it's $1,000. And then if you exceed 40 people for
whatever,
for the $400 a day, you have to pay $10 per person for extra person.
Wow.
And then for the wedding, you can have 75 people is the top for the wedding, and then it's $10 per person above that as well.
Yeah, that can be really steep.
And then in terms of private parks, so let's say you want to do a birthday party at Bonner Park, it's $40 for a 3-hour block.
And that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's really reasonable.
Yeah, $40 for 3 hours, that's about $12.50 an hour.
That's super reasonable. And I wonder what it was earlier. It must have only been like $20, $30. For it to only be raised up to 40.
And then the aquatics daily fees, let's say like Splash Montana and Currents, they're going to go up by 25 cents.
Okay.
That's 25 cents
that's
per
like
entry for like a single day entry.
Yeah.
But of course it'll even out in terms of like punch cards and monthly fees. But this is not what they're doing. This is what it's going to be at the city meeting next Monday. They're going to for approval. So if you have something to say about it, about the master fee increase, then you can go to the city council, voice your opinion, and see what comes out. But it's it's just one of those things, where new year, fiscal year, raising the budget to pay more money into certain facilities and stuff like that. And a lot of the money for these master fees go into the parks. All right, so the next meeting I want to talk about is the Parks and Conservation Committee, and what they were talking about is Mount Jumbo and the Elks. On Wednesday I was talking about the Elks and Mount Jumbo, the closure and stuff like that. This time I'm talking about forests. The forest up on Mount Sentinel, the mountains, for the Elks to have a nice area in there. But it's more than just a place for Elks. It's also a great location for diversity of wildlife, habitat. So Missoula wants to adopt a conservation plan on critical elk winter range. With land management, basically it will need city resources for the next 20 to 30 years. So they had a huge presentation, and I'm assuming, and it's all online if you want to look up the whole entire presentation, but I'm just going to show a little snippet. And this guy gave a presentation about it. His name is Morgan. Let's see, where was his name? I just need to double check. Morgan Valiant. His name is Morgan Valiant, and he gave a little talk about it. And the first thing he's talking about is, he said that why there should be forests on mountains. Like, we've never had a forest on, Mount Sentinel or Mount Jumbo. Why bother? Why bother having forests in the first place? And he tells you why. This is Morgan Valent.
A lot of people, when you look at these old photos, think, there shouldn't even be forests on the mountain because it's not natural. Well, in fact, the mountain had been getting managed for thousands of years before we arrived on the scene. If we look at how forests have grown since we stopped burning the mountain, we can see that it took a really long time for forests to start to get a toehold on the mountain, which really speaks to this frequency of these fires. There was not really a lot of seed sources. By 1940, you can see, this is an aerial photo from 1940, and you can see forests are just starting to move out of the draws and starting to expand on the side of the backbones. The area that's outlined in green is the actual extent of the forest in 2013. Overall, between 1940 and 2013, we had about 1.5 acres of forest growth per year. So once trees got established, they started growing very fast. But overall, we've got very young forests on the mountain, dense thickets of predominantly Doug fir. In some areas, it's so thick that the only thing growing underneath it is just moss.
All right.
Cool.
So yeah, that's
Wow,
what's
that
going on
forest
so
really
far.
grew a lot. That's really nice. Well, of course, like.
Well, like in a land
60
that hasn't
years.
in a land that hasn't developed forest
Yeah,
for like
that's
thousands of years and it was
quite a bit.
managed, the land is
awesome.
prime for forest growth.
Yep.
So he says a little more about why it's important why it's important to have a forest up on the mountain.
We wanted to increase species diversity across the areas, and so this is, actively establishing understory shrubs in areas where we don't have any, actively managing invasive species around all of these forested areas so that when we do thin them, they don't just get invaded by weeds. And then also to increase diversity. And so the majority of these trees are Douglas fir. There are some pines. There are some larch. There's a very few amount of aspen. And so the idea is to try to promote some of those other species so we have a slightly more diverse forest. But as you know, a lot of our forests in Montana are not incredibly diverse to begin with. But
All right. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there. And I do have a quote from him talking about wildfires, and he's talking about what can be done in terms of wildfire management with the forest that's on the mountain, because we all know that we had a fire on Mount Sentinel a couple years back, and it went into a blaze.
Yeah.
Like all the grass was like completely cleared off. You remember that, don't you, Asaph?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't living here then, but I heard about that.
It was crazy.
I heard that, yeah. Wasn't it like little kids like lighting phone books on fire?
Yeah. No, or lighting stuff on fire. I think it was like fireworks. It was about the time of fireworks season.
Oh, I bet that was nuts.
The grass was so dry, and then I was playing for the Missoula City Band, and they were talking about it. But this is what Morgan Valiant had to say in terms of wildfire prevention and management. So this is what he has to say.
the short answer is if we wanted to make this area fireproof, which it's hard to do to any area, that's why I have it in quotes. Because those slopes are so steep, we're dealing with 50 to 70% slopes in some areas, you would have to have so much spacing in between your trees, 30 plus feet between canopies of the trees, that you would make the area totally unsuitable for the elk. And so our idea is to cut a fuel break along the property line at the bottom of all of these parcels. And a fuel break is we would have up to 20 feet between crowns. We would remove all ground fuels, and these would be about 100 yards wide.
And of course, like he goes on to explain a little more about it. And he, instead of for the elk, keep a lot of the trees close together for a nice area for the elk, but at the same time have it in different sections. So if there was a fire, they can cut it off between, so let's say there's a bunch of little thick forests that right next door to each other with 50 yards in between thickets of forest where the elk could be. And this is an elk conservation plan. So it's for the elk.
Good.
Promoting more elk to come here, the ecology and all that stuff.
I like crazy stuff.
Yeah, crazy stuff. But yeah, that's about it for Wake Up Missoula. So if ASF wants to start planning this out, that'd be great.
Check out our Wix page, check out our Facebook page, check out Twitter, check out MCAT on Facebook.
Yeah, if you look for us, you'll find us. So
we're all over the place.
For Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ram.
I'm Noelle McAvoy, and this is ASAP.